everyone, and welcome to another Tinfoil Tuesday, and it's my Twitch partner anniversary. I don't know which one it is. Is this my 4th or 5th year? Is this my 5th year as a Twitch partner? That's pretty cool. Thanks, everyone, for the well wishes. So that's cool beans. Today we have all sorts of tinfoil. My hair's also looking much better because I finally purchased more leave-in conditioner. Thanks, leave-in conditioner. I really appreciate it. Okay. Oh, a hype train. Nice. Let's see what I missed in chat. Thank you for everyone wishing me happy partner anniversary. Overthought with 100 bits says I'm just gonna give you some birthday bits on my birthday during this stream on my birthday with these birthday bits. Happy birthday, Overthought! You share a birthday with my Twitch partnership. Did you know that? Rick M, thanks for 25 months, says surgery went well. I'm recovering at home. This is going well, too. Watching Stargate SG-1 for the first time. Hell yeah, I've been wanting to get into that. Although I have a bunch of other space shows, too. Jesus. I need to watch the Stargate series, Babylon 5, Space 1999. What else do I got? Not really a space thing, but I got that underwater one. What the fuck is that called? Sequest. Battlestar Galactica, all of the versions. Anyway, Skipazoa, thanks for 100 bits. Appreciate it. Boop, 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 boop. Trey's off to a big job interview, so we're invoking Hannah's job blessing on his behalf. I send the reckoning of 1,000 suns! So there we go. There are leaves in the conditioner. Yes, that's definitely what I meant. But no, seriously, doesn't this look so much better than it normally looks? Holy shit. God damn. I hope society doesn't collapse so I can get hair care products. It's good stuff. 43% to level 1 on the hype train. If you want to help out the hype train, you can always use bits, subscribe, or gift subs. All are appreciated, especially on this, the channel's anniversary. So that's cool. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Much appreciated. CC looking ominous. Yeah, this is the look that his kid gets when they say, "Have you seen this, Daddy?" And they show him a globe. Bittergrin, thanks for 100 bits. 13% to level 4. I appreciate it. CC, that's a terrible angle. At least we can hear him this time. That's good. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor, like the stream. That would be cool. Looks like YouTube has a top fans feature now. I assume it just gives you a rank based on how often you chat. That's an interesting incentive. CC, and I'm not getting recording in car. Yeah, it's not even fair, is it? By the way, we are playing bingo today, so if you want to play bingo, make sure you get your card ready. You can do so with the bingo command, ! bingo. Altered Undying with 100 bits says, "Hi, have this for cake. Thank you." Did he get better equipment? No, he's just... it's still not great audio, but, like, he's not far enough away that you can't pick him up. Because the last video he filmed from the beach, you could just hear the roaring of the waves and the wind and stuff, so, you know. If 80s post-apocalyptic movies are anything to go by, hair care products and makeup will continue to exist long after society collapses. That's what I'm banking on. It's definitely going to be exactly like a film, right? 17% to level 4 on the hype train. Generty with the 245 stream streak says, "Have you got Space Precinct, though? I'm gonna age myself terribly by saying I used to have Space Precinct-themed pogs. Also, this week has been weird. On the one hand, got my edits back for my new book finally. On the other, I've been down with a stomach bug since Friday. Glad you got your edits back." I've not seen it, but I am familiar with it. I know Shout Factory, I think, has the exclusive DVD rights to Space Precinct. And they put it on sale a lot. So I will probably get it someday. Pretty excited for stream today. Should be good. Have some fun stuff. We, of course, have Chris. We have more Chris degrading into low-grade, what's the word for it? I'm blanking. Oh no, gangstalking. Chris seems to be on the verge of getting into gangstalking beliefs, which isn't good. Some Flat Earth stuff. Smoo returns, once again, don't know if we'll get to that. More scam devices from the Medbed people, I'm working on that video on about. Demonic parasites, and more. So it should be good. What's gang stalking? Basically, it's when people are paranoid, and it's like the stereotypical paranoia where you think everyone is secretly watching you, and everyone is secretly like an actor or paid by the government to monitor you. It's not good. Anyway, we can go ahead and get into the first video with Chris. 17% to level 4 on the hype train with about a minute left. Let's jump into it. Let me turn off this music and we'll get started.
All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 7/12/25. I just want you to take a look at the big chemtrails here on the beach.
Chemtrails on the bingo card, of course.
I don't know, them fucking with our weather once again. Oh, you know what? Let's call the
weather control on the bingo card. Terradona, thanks for gifting a sub to my lovely wife. 39% to level 4 with 30 seconds left.
These snake clouds. Yeah, that's right. Let's call them snake clouds. That's great. Yes, but people don't see this, do they? They don't see that they're fucking manipulating our weather in every freaking country. These are all over the place. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, you will always see these fucking chemtrails right behind me.
As long as you're in an area with airplane jet traffic, yes, you will see them. Because again, I know you all know this because we've mentioned it many times, but in case anyone needs to hear this, they're not chemtrails. They're called contrails. It's condensation that forms sometimes on jets from their engines. It's not nefarious, it's water vapor and water crystals. That's it. Yes, old man yells at clouds on the bingo card.
There we go. Okay, those aren't clouds. Those are fucking chemtrails. Let's talk.
Oh, good. He's going to get serious. Green guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, it's stormy here, so if you lose us, you'll know where to find us. Stone Corbell with 61 months says, hello, Hannah. Hello, Stone Corbell. How do?
You know, I like to do a video out on the beach. Unfortunately, I'm not really set up for it. I got my P1000, but there's really not much going on out here. I'm trying to focus in on some shit, but there's really nothing going on. I got a barge over there, but the barges, they only... All right, well, you know what? I'll zoom in on it. Okay. Let's talk.
I'm sure it'll be deep. Lady Ann with a 3-stream streak says, we had a close scare with my daughter's cat yesterday. Closest I have to a grandkid. He's fine now. Bacterial respiratory infection. Spent all day at the emergency vet. Glad they're okay. Sorry about that.
Why not? It's a Saturday, so you might as well enjoy yourself. All right. Let's get the beach view. Oh, you know what? I love this. I haven't seen this since I was a kid. Big storm came in. I remember when I was, I mean, I've seen this a few times, but it just sparks a time when I was a child, you know, with my parents, and I was just sitting there breaking the sand like this. It's really neat. That was a big storm that came in. When you're driving down a road, a straight road, okay? Let's go over to the ocean. When you're driving...
Do I think his wife has tried to help him not be like this, or did she give up? That's hard to say. I don't know. At what point does it get too... Because you can tell he's the kind of person that does not take criticism well. So I would imagine at the beginning she probably tried, but he's certainly not the kind of person who would make a task like that easy. So I would imagine she probably tried for a while, but at a certain point just gave up and decided it wasn't worth it. Which is very sad, because whoever Chris was when they were married, I imagine, is very different than the Chris we have now. And that's pretty sad for her. But what are you gonna do? Thanks, Carb-Cozian.
Down a road, a straight road, and you see mountains in the background, and you're driving up to the mountains. Now remember, it's like highway, what is that highway out in California? It goes to the desert, I don't know.
Is he thinking of Route 66? But he just is thinking California for some reason?
Highway 69, whatever the fuck it is. Now picture yourself on that straight highway, going through the desert, and you see these mountains in the background. All right, so while you're driving, shouldn't those mountains be getting higher? Because of the curvature of the earth. Remember that? That's right. There apparently is a curve on the earth. So while you're driving on the land and you see these mountains all the way in the background, 50, 20 miles back, they should be coming higher. But they're not.
Yeah, I don't think he understands the difference between curvature and elevation again. I don't understand what he's trying to say here. I guess he's thinking because you're going towards them, you're sort of going, and they'd be under the horizon. As you're going, you would see more of them, I guess is what he's trying to say. Once again, I think this comes down to flat earthers not understanding how big the earth is.
We've got buildings that were built supposedly back in the 1700s with better technology than we have now. It's all been hidden.
Ancient wisdom on the bingo card.
Wars. You know what a war is? A war is an excuse. An excuse to destroy things. That's all war is. That's why they make a war. They destroy things. They destroy ancient civilizations.
So he thinks that wars don't exist for ideological or material reasons where people fight over ideas or resources. He thinks they exist as a cover to destroy ancient Tartarian buildings. Well, that's not true. That's not how people work at all. Why does he think chimpanzees go to war with each other? Like, different troops of chimpanzees will go to war sometimes. Does he think they're also hiding a secret chimp Tartaria from the sheeple apes? Like, people get into conflict. What are you talking about? Green guy with a $3 tip says, does CC have kids? Maybe he is his wife's Coyote Ugly. I don't understand that reference. He does have a kid. He does have at least one kid.
I don't like the way this is set up here. Ancient civilizations that have built technology and structural engineering that we will never fucking understand. Well, we'll understand it, but we can't do it now. Horse and buggy. That's what we were doing back then. We were sitting back in the 1800s in a fucking cabin with a candle and a fireplace. But meanwhile, we were able to build the aqueduct system of New York.
Yes. One is a civil engineering project, which cost a lot of money and tons of manpower, and a log cabin is something that theoretically a couple guys could put together over a few weeks. It's not going to be fun to do, but you could do it. Like, does he not understand the difference in scale? Like, yes, it takes fewer people and resources to build a small house than it does a huge civil engineering project. They're different things. My house is smaller and less impressive than the Burj Khalifa, but both buildings exist concurrently because they're for very different purposes. This is not hard to understand. We see it around us every day. Overthought says Chimp Tartaria is the real reason the Statue of Liberty was at the end of the Planet of the Apes. Spoilers for an almost 50-year-old movie.
All the way up to Shokan Reservoir. Underground! I mean, it just makes me fucking laugh and nobody can fucking see the shit. But they can't see it straight in front of their fucking eyes, man. It just pisses me off. I mean, the reservoir system itself of New York should tell you so many things. Buildings that are built underground, under Grand Central Station. And I will visit that.
Yes, doesn't understand architecture on the bingo card. We're doing a lot of bingo spaces so far.
I don't know how many get down there, but I'll try to figure it out. I mean, there's just so much shit. There's so many fucking things. You know what?
Planet of the Apes is 58 years old? Okay, I was way off on that.
You know, the water's actually pretty warm.
Are you sure? Was that movie not made in the mid-70s? Because it was in the 60s? Are you sure? Hold on. 1968. Okay. Never mind.
For July.
It feels like a 70s movie to me. I don't know why. I associate Charles Heston with the 70s more for some reason. Why? Soylent Green, maybe? I don't know.
Right now. Somebody set up some kind of satanic shit over here. But it's got a bench and a seat. All right, here we go. Some kind of couple of kids, they're fucking around. You know, what are you gonna do? They like to have the satanic freaking religion. There's a horseshoe crab shell and other shells and all this other nonsense. But they did set up a nice little bench here, which is cool.
His name is Charlton Heston, that's what I said. Did it sound like I said something else? Charlton Heston, that's what I said.
Sit on it. Yeah, it's not bad. They found some nice rocks. But I mean, it's just... Yeah. Fuck! You know, going to the beach now is just, it's like watching Star Wars or Star Trek or any, you just can't really enjoy it because you know that you can pull up.
This makes me so sad. It makes me so sad that he can't enjoy anything in his life, and it's over bullshit. It's not even like he's upset about real bad things in the world. He's making up problems in his head or getting them from the internet and ruining his life. He can't enjoy a day at the beach because of his own paranoid delusions. It's so sad.
With your camera, okay? And see stuff that you shouldn't be able to see. 8 inches per mile squared. That is the fucking equation. Okay.
It's not. That's the equation for the curve of a parabola. And I don't know if you know this, a parabola has a steeper curve than a sphere, because it's a parabola.
Okay? We see too far. That's the problem. And that's a problem. A big problem. Either they're lying to us about the size of this freaking thing that we live on, or we're flat and stationary. Because nothing else is moving. All the planes are moving, all the stars are moving, everything is moving up there, but we are not moving at all. It's so beautiful down here. I want to go back out. Come on. I don't know, this is a dead video, I guess. Sucks.
Why did you upload it then? Then why did you upload it?
Talk about. Here it is. See, there's a slide down here. Come on, you gotta have some fun at the beach, man. Some kind of fun. Some kind of fun. You know what the problem is a lot of fucking garbage around here. A lot of people have been coming here in the last 4 or 5 years. I've been noticing
You can't just call people from New Jersey garbage, Chris.
a lot of, you know, plastic cans and all this other shit.
You think sand art is satanic? Are you surprised that he's reading into things too deeply than he should?
That's out there that shouldn't be there, that never was. And that would be the administration that has allowed elements that have come into this country that live in a third world country and they have no idea.
Oh, here's the racism.
Yeah.
His next video we're gonna watch after this one is also weirdly conspiratorial and racist, and is the one that veers on gangstalking territory.
Their beliefs are none. Right over there is Democrat Point. Probably about 4 miles away. Shouldn't be able to see the shoreline of that. There's the bridge right over there. Shouldn't be able to see pretty much, I would say.
Fun fact, you should be able to see it, because you do.
We gotta get over to the camera right over here, but there are other people coming, but it's all right. It's all right. Should I flat smack them? I'm not really quite sure. Should I try to explain to them that the Earth is flat? I'm not sure either. I should get back to home base over here, though.
So let's move on to the second video, because the rest he just kind of hangs out on the beach and rambles. This next one, jokes aside, I know we make jokes on this show, and it's a humorous show. It's supposed to be funny. But, like, I'm actually concerned for his mental health. I think with this video that I'm about to show you, he's crossed a line into, like, oh, he thinks people around him are fake actors being told to do stuff. Which, again, is very gangstalkery. So let's take a look.
All right.
He's in the parking lot near a Taco Bell.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 7/13, 2025, okay? And I just want to show you the people that are here that instigate crap. You know, I mean, that cause chaos and mayhem. Like, let's take, for example, this guy right here in front of Wendy's in Elmsford. Okay, so he's just talking on the phone and he's been arguing with somebody supposedly on the phone for nothing. Oh, now he spots me. He's not even really talking to anybody. The minute I walked up to him, he walked away.
So to be clear, what is happening is he sees this gentleman at the Wendy's in the next parking lot over, arguing with someone on the phone. No idea what this guy's arguing about. It's irrelevant. Chris sees this guy and assumes that he's not just talking on the phone with someone. Obviously, he's there to cause chaos. He's an actor pretending to talk on the phone. This is a line. I'm not saying this is the first time he's crossed this line, because he doesn't film everything he does or believes, but I think this is the first time he has crossed this line on camera. This is a level of delusion that goes from like, oh, conspiracy theorist, weird guy, to, oh no, this guy might have schizophrenia. It's getting dangerously close to gang stalking, and I'm very concerned for him, and I hope his wife notices and gets him some help, because this is an escalation. It might seem small, but it's not. This is indicative of a shift in his mental state to even worse than it has been since we started covering him years ago.
And he's just going to walk around there for 2 hours to, like, kind of just...
Green Guy says, isn't sand on the beach made of fish that eat corals' poop, and that's why you can't use desert sand to replace beach sand? I think it's made of, like, bones and shells and stuff that have been ground up.
Yelling and screaming about bullshit, about nonsense. There's nobody even on his phone. Who's paying this guy to do this? Who is paying this guy to do this? Now that he's... there he goes. He's arguing about nothing. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's arguing about. You see how we go over to him and say something, but
And yes, the irony is, of course, that Chris is a random, strange person in a parking lot talking to no one to his camera. So you can imagine this guy over here yelling, Chris is in the parking lot yelling.
Don't want to... no, there's a family here, and they're just getting a meal.
Jay's a Proxy says, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't schizophrenia normally show up early in your adult life, like mid-20s? Correct. Normally being the opportune word. There are exceptions, unfortunately. And it's not necessarily... I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, and even if I was, Chris is not my patient. It would not be my place to diagnose this. I am just saying that he is illustrating traits that I typically see in people who have been diagnosed with, like, schizophrenia and their delusions. It may or may not be that, it may be something else. But it's certainly some sort of delusional disorder.
Wendy's. Alright, but we got some guy over here just yelling and rapping along and bullshitting along. Disrupting peace. You see, now that...
It's not disrupting anyone, Chris. No one is paying attention to him except you.
That's what the administration has done. They want to break apart families. They want to break apart our America. Okay? Our America doesn't have something like this. Okay? Oh, yeah, what the hell?
Oh, and look at this. Another paranoid thing. He's going to start looking at electrical boxes around him and be like, what is that? How is this going to hurt me?
What is that box? Well, it's an electronica box for low wires. God knows what the hell that is. Who knows what the fuck this is? And who knows what the hell that is? That's a burner, I think. when they turn it on, it'll crisp us all. But that's another video.
It's just like he's in a state of acute paranoia, and he's just, everything around him is suspect. That guy on the phone, he must be a paid actor. That box, I don't know what it does, but I know it's here to hurt me. Like, this is a state of acute paranoia. This is not good.
Okay. Now, I don't eat fast food. I think fast food is disgusting and it's poisonous. When I have to relieve myself, I will use one of these joints because they're always open. But during COVID, they weren't. Everything was in lockdown during COVID. Okay. So this guy's been on the phone now for, I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes arguing with somebody.
This is close to the gang stalking videos. Yeah, I made the same connection.
If that cell phone is even connected to anything, I would love to know. And he's just sitting on the corner. This is Elmsford. Okay. I mean, it's like putting an acting show on, isn't it? I mean, it really is.
Mouse a Cookie says, the CIA is paying me to gang stalk Hannah via YouTube chat. They should just pay me, direct me, and I'll gang stalk myself. I'm around myself all the time anyway.
Hysterical. You know, Hollywood, call this guy. There he goes. He's putting an acting show on. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. Power. If I was to play a song right now, his mimics would probably go along with the song perfectly. He's not talking to anybody. He's not doing anything. He's just there to disrupt everybody. You see, she's annoyed with that. So,
not really. She didn't seem to care. Chris, multiple people have walked by this guy. You were the only one who was disturbed by him. Like, you go out in the world and you see people, and sometimes you're like, oh, people watching, that's fine. But they're not disturbed by him. The lady just went like, oh yeah, there's a guy yelling or something, whatever. Like, have you never been out in public before? In a city? Sometimes stuff's happening. People are on their phones. People are talking to each other. People are interacting. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to see a fight. Who knows? That's the magic of going out in the world, you know? Ugh.
I have you on my video, but I'm just trying to make a point here. Okay.
Thanks, Nana.
He's just disrupting America.
He's not. He isn't. You're racial profiling this guy for no reason.
America itself. And that's all he's doing. He's not getting any nice conversations at all. I don't want to take this guy. Okay?
Also, I thought there was a Taco Bell involved. I'm sorry, it's a Wendy's. That's my fault.
You see, he's just trying to disrupt everything. You see, people are paid to do this.
Look at more people walking by, not disrupted.
Is paid to do this.
Stone Corbell, a man yelling at his phone on a street corner. He's attacking America.
And there be many others.
This is Chris's personal 9/11.
And that's all they do.
Look, he's laughing now. Like, whatever the argument was, clearly it's over. He's fine. Look it.
You fucking bastard.
You fucking bastard.
Please calm down a bit. Still on the phone though, right? Is he still on the phone? Let's see. I can only imagine what's going on in the city right now. Oh, yeah, he's still on the phone. Well, the sarcasm, I mean, with the, oh, the phone's fine. Oh, no, there's another phone call coming in, right? I guess it's a never-ending phone call. Now he's on speaker. I love it when people do this. You know what I love? I love it when people take their phone and they put it on speaker, you know, and like annoy everybody. Like, I want to hear you.
Chris, he's not near you. He's not on a bus. He's not even inside the restaurant. He's outside. He's bothering 0 people. You are the unhinged guy filming people without their consent, just being insane. Fenekagami says, honestly, this is probably a psychotic break that may be mimicking the symptoms of schizophrenia. I mentioned this previously when I brought up alt-hist, but a problem with conspiracy thought is if it progresses far enough, it becomes indistinguishable from serious mental illness, yeah?
Fucking conversation. You see, a phone should be in the ear. See, that's what a phone was. That's what it was originally meant for. Not
This is such an impressionistic view of Chris. You just get, like, hair follicles. It's so artsy.
not for me to hear your conversation on a cell phone at all. I mean,
Does he know if he wants to turn the camera around, he needs to unzoom it because he was zoomed all the way in?
This just pisses me off. All right, let's go back. I just I have to do this. I have to show people the nonsense that's going on.
Afghanistan, thanks for 13 months with Prime. Howdy to you as well.
In front of everybody. Hi.
And we're all yelling at a video of Cece being crazy. What does that make us? Something worse.
How are you? Good. You're parked all right. Oh, and he's got...
Oh, hell yeah, Amber.
Oh, look at that. He mysteriously disappeared.
He didn't mysteriously disappear. He probably went to go get a fucking Baconator. He's at a Wendy's. I want a Baconator.
Well, you know, he's not in the restaurant. Well, it's not really a restaurant. He's gone now. Okay.
So I'm worried about Chris. I really hope his wife notices and does something, but I don't know. What do you do? He's clearly not someone who's willing to get help voluntarily, so not good. Lilac Rosenberg with 40 bits says, "Bring back Jizz." The video says unavailable, so whatever it is, can't watch it apparently. Let's take a look at the bingo card real quick, because I know we got a decent number. Flat Earth, Ancient Wisdom. It's crazy we didn't get Recordian Car with him. Staggering levels of hypocrisy for him yelling on the corner and being mad at another guy talking on the phone on a corner. Incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident. Doesn't understand architecture. Yells at clouds. Thank you. Chemical fear-mongering. Chemtrails. Weather control. Tartaria. Is there anything else? I think that's maybe it. Oh, satanic. He said the beach thing was satanic. Blu-rays for Space Precinct. That's true. Also, it was going to come up later anyway. Doesn't understand a camera for the follicle filming. That's fair. Sure. I'll accept that. Conspiracy theorist tells on themselves. Yeah, I gotta give you that one. That was too revealing. Nah, did he say sky is fake? I know he believes that, but I don't know if he said anything to that effect. False flag for the wars? I would consider that more psyop. Well, false flags are used but I'm gonna go psyop instead. I think that's closer to psyop. Is it 9/11 when I do it? No, it has to be in the video unless it says it's me doing it explicitly. All right, why not? The title of this video is, I'm not joking, who are the Blu-ray star seeds? Are you one of them? I hope so.
In specific, there are different soul groups here.
To be clear, I know this has nothing to do with actual Blu-rays. I just find it funny. I had to click on it.
Here on Earth at this time, each specializing in specific areas of consciousness, who have a distinct purpose and contribute their unique skill set towards humanity's spiritual evolution. Out of the soul groups, or rays, that are assisting humanity's collective consciousness, the blue rays are the most mysterious and therefore the most misunderstood. So today I'm going to be demystifying who the blue rays are, what their unique qualities are, and at the end of this video, I will share what the major themes the blue rays are healing in the collective consciousness are. The blue rays are not from any one source of origins. They are higher.
It's true. Sometimes they come from Mexico. Sometimes they come from Europe. Sometimes they come from Australia. It just depends.
Dimensional beings who have incarnated into this
Dimensions other than our own on the bingo card.
human experience from ascended worlds and higher vibrational realms of light. Rather than being from any one planet, how they get their name, blue ray, is because of their dominant frequency and its
Oh, it can't be me then.
vibration within the blue ray of creation. So they have a dominantly blue aura, which is the ray or facet of source consciousness that is highly claircognizant, or otherwise known as wisdom. They are often described as mysterious or give off strong esoteric vibes due to their interest in and their connection to hidden and ancient knowledge. They could not fit in even if they tried. They are incredibly wise and sensitive. Not only does their sensitivity lead them to feel things so deeply and intensely, the intensity of their energy field comes from their sensitive nature. So paradoxically, their sensitivity is both experienced and expressed as intensity.
The single tear! They're just so sensitive. They just got a pretty cry sometimes.
This adds to their recognizable qualities as a refined fierceness. It also allows their intuitive abilities to access realms that are not normally accessed here in this dimension because of how subtle in nature and higher vibratory they are.
Vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. It's funny that I didn't intend that to be literal, but the space has come to just mean whenever conspiracy theorists bring up vibrations when they're trying to describe emotions. It's so interesting how they've stuck on this idea of, like, vibration and frequency as this reified thing, when they're really just describing emotional states that they think have significance. It's odd.
In order to access information at that level, enormous amounts of sensitivity is required. Or else there's simply no way to effectively translate the communication, since it would be too wide of a gap in between languages. Because intelligence is not reserved to only the mind. In fact, the reason why blue rays are so wise is because of their empathic nature. True intelligence can only exist in the presence of empathy. For instance, we think when we are learning something that we are only using our brain or our mental faculty to take in the information and assemble it into understanding.
We are, and we have empathy, but that empathy is seated in our brain, like all of our cognition. Empathy isn't some separate thing that exists in a different place than the brain. It's in your brain. What are you talking about?
But we are not. We are using more than one sense to assimilate information and to generate understanding.
Sure, you use more than one sense. Your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your sense of touch, your proprioception. But all of these senses are interpreted by the brain. What are you talking about?
We are absorbing information through multiple channels.
Are these just the new indigos? My goblin isn't spoiled, it's more evolved than you. Basically, yeah, it's just another special subclass of the indigo children starseed stuff. Moronic says, I think she means empath in the super psychic emotion feeler way. I think you're probably right.
Our sentience is amplifying.
Hannah, you've clearly not seen the groundbreaking documentary Care Bears. I fucking love the Care Bears. As a kid, I loved the Care Bear movie, and I loved the goddamn Care Bear cousins. Was that in the sequel? When they met the fucking Care Bear cousins? They got a bunch of non-bears in there? That blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, it's like a Care Bear, but it's a lion. Oh my god! That was groundbreaking at the time.
The learning process. Our empathy is soaking the information in through all of its centers, and then informing the mind of connections that were not priorly recognized and reorganizing.
Care-a-lot is a place where you can go. God, that song is gonna be stuck in my head forever, and it's fucking terrible.
That data.
Care-a-lot is a place that you can go for laughing on clouds.
So consciousness is a holistic process of the energy field. The more energetically sensitive a being is, the more potential for intelligence they have, since a holistic ability of the mind, body, and soul is intelligence rather than a purely cerebral function. The Blu-ray's main purpose here...
Midnight says, have you considered ripping all your DVD Blu-rays and running your own Plex server? That way you could stream them. I do have my own Plex server that I just have on my computer. I've wanted to do that, but I don't have a disk drive for this computer. So I would need to get a 4K disk drive that's capable of ripping discs. And those are incredibly expensive. So someday that would be great. But...
is for global healing through alchemy. They are masters of transmutation. So naturally, they are here to transmute the deepest, darkest portions of the third dimension, as well as the densest layers of this reality.
That sounds like a big task for people who aren't very good at interacting with others. No, thank you. Maybe that should be a tip goal. Again, the tip goals have to be things for you guys. It can't be something that I would enjoy, otherwise it's not a goal. Like, you know what I mean? Green Guy with a tip says, Hannah, if I come across a glass jar with a metal lid, I have to keep it. I got like 60. I've been hoarding soda cans for 3 years and have a pile, but when I watch your show, I wince at some of the people and go, maybe you should collect jars and shut the fuck up. If you're crazy, it's fine. I'm also crazy. You channel it into a collection that'll end up in a yard sale in 50 years. It's fine. It's fine.
They did not sign up for an easy life. In fact, the Blu-
Hell yes, Trey. You're gonna get this fucking job because you deserve it.
Blu-ray's soul contracts have the most severe forms of contrast within them, since they are natural alchemists. In fact, one of the defining qualities of a Blu-ray is if they have really harsh contrast in their life experience. This can take the form of a mystery illness, incarnating into severely traumatized or distorted lineages. Or even if we attract abnormally high levels of persecution from others, as well as really bizarre and intense levels of injustice. This is because of the way the Blu-ray's energy field is configured. It's ultramagnetic, creating a dynamic similar to a moth drawn to a source of light.
You could have just said like a magnet. You already said it was magnetic. That's already a comparison. We know what magnets do.
It's not that Blu-rays enjoy to see others in misery or pain. It's that the purpose of their energy field is to transmute the darkest layers of reality. So they are naturally drawn to suffering.
I'm drawn to suffering. Oh no, am I a Blu-ray starseed? And I'm transmuting via this stream misery into making you laugh? Am I stealing your vril energy or whatever? What the fuck do they call that shit? It's not vril. Vril are the people that steal the energy. What's the stupid energy that they say they have? Does anyone remember? What's the stupid energy?
The same reason that the indigos are naturally drawn to exposing the underbelly
Loosh! I'm stealing your loosh!
of the Matrix. It's simply their soul's purpose, and that's what their energy field is designed for. However, because of this, it magnetizes experiences into its field that can often evoke cruel and harsh projections from others, dark forces, all sorts of unconscious behaviors, and karmic patterns that are being triggered by the consciousness that the blue ray of creation emits. A Blu-ray's energy field is one of the only kinds that can hold space for this level of darkness.
Braylon says, I absolutely hate the idea that some part of people choose horrible things they go through. It's an absolutely reprehensible way of thinking. Yeah, that Carlin lady years ago, I know, did a thing about that really pissed people off.
But understand that holding space does not mean justifying or excusing.
Yeah, the person Overthought is referencing, what was her name? She said something along the lines of that everyone picked their life. So she basically said that she thought that, like, all the victims of the Holocaust chose that life. Like, really fucked up victim-blaming stuff. Trying to take, like, some of the worst atrocities humans have ever committed against each other and turning it into some, well, everyone chooses their path type shit.
Any of this.
Yeah, she was terrible.
It only means having the capacity to connect with it in order to uproot the densest energies within the third-dimensional draconian timelines. For the purpose...
Draconian, that's reptilian. Draconians are reptilian aliens. So that's reptilians on the bingo card.
Of healing these dense aspects within the level of being, and then reconfiguring the human template in order to hold more higher vibratory light. So it's not that they're taking others' karma onto themselves. Essentially what's happening is their field is awakening this dimension to whatever is out of alignment and is not in its integrity. Their energy field brings to the surface the unconscious wounds within the beings it comes in contact with, which can be experienced as antagonistic, both to the Matrix and those who are heavily programmed inside
Oh, sure. Poor understanding of Eastern religion for the karma thing.
it alike.
They just love to borrow stuff, don't they?
Since uncovering that level of denial and fragmentation held within the collective's unprocessed shadow doesn't necessarily feel good. Just by being themselves, they are typically in a
Jay's a proxy with a bingo says vibes-based conspiracy, doesn't understand architecture, free space, poor understanding of Eastern philosophy, and Tartaria. That is a win. Jay's a proxy also says, if it is, then donate it. So I will do so. Give me one sec. That is our official winner for the day. So we'll still play for fun. But that is the bingo winner. Let's see who randomly gets the gift sub. Denonymously apparently gets the gift sub. Alright, cool beans. Where were we? That was quick.
rock and a hard place scenarios due to their frequency. They don't even have to do much to trigger others.
One of these days, the random gift sub is going to go to someone who really doesn't want it, and it's going to be awkward and hilarious. I fully accept that on a long enough time scale, that's inevitable.
The time they could just breathe wrong, and it would work a person into a frenzy. Because of the amount of light the Blu-ray's consciousness is emanating to their environment, let alone to the established systems of power here. From a strictly human perception, we would likely interpret all of this alchemy as utterly unholy. We would simply not be able to clearly see the Blu-rays for who they really are. Instead, it would be easier to be reductive and fall for their ever too convenient perception of viewing these masters
I'm
of
glad
light
you wanted
as
it
dark,
anonymously.
demonic, or what we were called in the recent past, a witch. It's because the Blu-rays can transmute the darkness that the majority of humans are afraid of. And because of this, their main theme in life is going unseen, persecuted, and misunderstood. Because of this, one of the main blocks the Blu-rays have to face is overcoming their tendency to play small in order to avoid being projected on. It's important for Blu-rays to embrace their divine attributes, or else they actually run the risk of
This is just horoscopes. This is just horoscopes, but stupider. This is just horoscopes, but you also want to be an alien. I just realized. Just a Peach with a tip says, this is a way of saying it's not your job to get along with others. You're too special for others to understand.
shutting down their psychic abilities in order to attempt to blend in with their environment. The memory of persecution is an ancient one that runs deep within their template. It can subconsciously affect what gifts we will be able to access and plays an even larger role in the activation of our third eye. If you'd like to know more about how to unblock the third eye, let me know in the comments, along with anything specific about the third eye that you would like me to go into more depth on.
Fine, Drano will open your third eye. I'm telling you, just pour some in there. It's fine. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Please don't ingest or put Drano anywhere on your body. Screaming at the Radio, thanks for 49 months. What are we gonna cover next? Ooh, demons and parasites. Let's do that.
And this is April Lockhart, and we are going to begin a YouTube series on fasting, autoimmune, and parasites. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to get started. We're going to dive right in, and we're just going to give a brief introduction as to who we are and why you should be taking our word for it. So I'm Vicki Joy Anderson, author of the book.
Just trust us. Just trust us, guys.
They Only Come Out at Night, Exposing the Dark Weapon of Sleep Paralysis. Now you might be asking,
oh no, she's into sleep paralysis stuff
why
too.
is the sleep paralysis girl talking about parasites and autoimmune all of a sudden? And I think that the basic answer is that it falls under the umbrella of spiritual warfare. Whether you're talking shadow people or you're talking parasites, you're talking autoimmune, all of a sudden you're talking about diseases that are incurable. And is that congruent with the Jehovah Rapha, the God of the Bible, who is God our healer? And so April and I are talking about our own personal experience. We have been on a journey of discovery the entire year of 2024, and we've come across some things that we just cannot keep to ourselves. They've been life-changing. And so I'm going to throw it over to April. April, let everybody know who you are and why this is an important discussion for you.
Thanks, Vicki. Hey, so let me just go ahead and say that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, we know. You're on this show.
I'm definitely, I'm probably a layman. There might be some of you out there who maybe even know a little bit more about parasites and things like that than I do. My background, I'm in law enforcement. I'm a retired.
Oh no, it's a cop conspiracy theorist.
Police
ACAB, all conspiracists are bastards.
officer, retired Army, and now a mother of 3 and very involved in my local church. And so I'm very involved with my kids. Keeps me busy. So as Vicki can attest to this, but yeah, so also a very good friend to Vicki. I would say she's my wingman. She's my bestie. So we've just gone on this journey. The Lord sort of crossed our path at some point, and we started discovering some interesting things about the Word of God. And when the Lord revealed these things to us, these things were so amazing that we just could not keep it to ourselves.
Okay. I guess this has never been a time in human history. I wish for a time in human history when people say, I have been granted a vision from God, everyone goes, all right, let's get you to the psych ward. Not in a mean way, in a we're genuinely concerned about your mental health way. Ah. This woman is a cop. She has had power over people's freedom.
It would be kind of like a sin, really, to hold what we had discovered to ourselves when this is just an amazing thing. So we're here wanting to share. I would say that's what we hold in common, Vic, is that we love the Lord. We love the Word of God. And we try to sort of look at whatever it is that we're looking at. We see it through biblical lenses. And I think that's what I appreciate about you the most, Vic. So that's me.
This is going to be a super exciting journey because even with a little bit that you and I have already been discussing this online, we've done 2 podcasts together, which
Mhm.
I'm gonna link those in the show notes for anyone who's interested in kind of the greater background of how we got from there to here. But what's really been encouraging to me is in the 2 podcasts we've done together, and I've done maybe half a dozen on my own with on other people's podcasts, and I cannot believe the enthusiasm and the excitement and the hope that this discussion is generating in people. And there's one thing even more exciting. As an author and as a researcher, I can tell you that there's a certain excitement.
I'm assuming her books are self-published. I guess I don't know that, but I'm guessing. Let's take a look at Amazon. Let's see. Is this self-published on Amazon? Oh wait, no, this is from Upton Sinclair. The fucking, what was his name? I'm blanking on the name of the other book he did. Shit. Was Upton Sinclair The Jungle? I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know where her books are.
Excitement and joy and satisfaction when something gets revealed to you, you're researching something, you're coming across something that's like brand new, and you're the one that gets to
Oh, my research said by a non-researcher on the bingo card.
like express that, and the people are like, I've never heard that before. That's awesome. Like there's a certain satisfaction in being like the one who stumbled upon a discovery. But I will tell you, in all honesty, since talking about the autoimmune and the parasites and the fasting stuff, I have had Christians from all over the world contacting me saying, the Holy Spirit told me this exact same thing. I've been on this exact same journey. And you and I even.
Yeah, a lot of people share similar delusions, and unfortunately, the internet has allowed delusional people to basically organize and unionize in a way that they never have been able to do historically. It's been devastating for society as a whole, and we truly probably won't understand the devastating ramifications for decades, if not longer. Probably not within my lifetime. No bueno.
We've been unfolding in the last few weeks, even things that you and I have been discussing in private that are crazy. Like, there's no way we could get this peer reviewed. There's no evidence for this,
Yeah.
but like, this has got to be what's going on.
There's no evidence for this. We couldn't get it peer reviewed, but this has got to be what's going on. How do you even argue with that? How do you argue with someone who openly admits there's no evidence for this? This cannot be peer reviewed, but I'm sure it's true. Like, you can't argue with it. You just gotta shut it up. You just gotta say, no, we're just not having this discussion. Because what do? It's not open. Like, no one is open to persuasion when they think like this.
And then, a week later, we'll see on social media some other Christian leader saying the exact same thing.
Right.
And I will tell you, even more exciting than being the archaeologist who stumbles upon the long lost thing that no one knew about is stumbling upon something that multiple other camps have also been stumbling upon. And you realize there is strength in numbers. If God is not just revealing this to me, he's revealing it to his remnant, and it just makes it even.
Nothing is being revealed to you. You have a paranoia about being infested with parasites. Do you really not understand how in human cognition one might become obsessed with the idea of parasites in your body? Jillian Epperly of Jilly Juice fame had the same delusions, that all health issues were caused by secret parasites in your body. And that's why she invented the Jilly Juice, because she thought that this, like, super salty fermented cabbage water would kill all the parasites. And then her and her group would take pictures after they had defecated, showing what they thought were parasites, but in reality, it's like parts of their intestine that had sloughed off from all the damage. So there are these people who just get obsessed with the idea that they're full of parasites when they are not. This is like a delusion that is, like, I'm not going to call it common, but it's not rare. Like, it's not, unique by any means. This idea that you're afraid you're infested with parasites is a delusion that is shared by many people, unfortunately. Is Jilly still alive? She is. She still produces videos. I do not cover her quite intentionally. I check in on her personally, but I just feel bad at this point. She's clearly not doing okay. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend you look in on her. It's nothing great. Let's just put it that way. Just pretty depressing and not funny. Just sucks. Juggle can do.
Even more exciting, and it gives a greater veracity to what's being revealed to us. And so I am, at risk of being melodramatic, I am really excited that this is the particular time and epoch when the Spirit is revealing to the church ways for free that we can self-heal in a time in history where,
by the way, in terms of material reasons for people to have this delusion, especially in the United States, I would bet that this delusion is more popular because it gives you an easy solution to your health issues. Let's say you have actual health issues. Maybe they're undefined because you can't afford to go to a doctor and find out what the real problem is because you're in America, which is just a hell plane where no one gets health care unless you have a decent job. Anyway, it's easier to fall for a delusion that tells you, oh, all of your health issues that you don't understand and can't afford to understand, it's all parasites. Yeah, it's this one problem, singular, and we can do a simple thing to fix it, and you'll be cured, and it'll be free, or at least cheap. You know what I mean? They have a dream of basically curing their health ills without going into supreme debt, which in the United States is, unfortunately, you need a conspiracy theory to believe it. So it's not good. Especially common with American women because they've dealt with so much medical misogyny. They want answers. Yep, that's a good reason too.
where we are in bondage to very expensive, somewhat hopeless medical prognoses. We've got a lot of people now who are suffering from things that are allegedly incurable. There is a lot of hopelessness and despair that's coming.
Oh no. Yep. Also people who have been told their prognosis is not good and don't want to accept that as an answer. And to be clear, it's fair to get second opinions. If a doctor tells you a prognosis that you're like, that sucks, I'm going to get a second opinion, even a third opinion. Fair. Fine. But at a certain point, you need to accept it and learn ways to cope with that. And that's terrible, and that sucks, and people should be given all the support they need. But I do see in situations where you feel hopeless because you've been told the prognosis is not good and there's nothing anyone can do, you're gonna be more prone to falling for someone who tells you there's hope. Because people love hope. We basically need it to survive.
Along with that. And I think that the church is going to break out of this malaise and they're going to discover, just like
Green Guy with a tip says, the same people who think they're full of parasites won't get their pets treated for known parasite prevention. Crazy, just hoard soda cans shit.
like back in the first century when Jesus walked among us, that the power of physical healing is still available to us. And I'm stoked to see what's going to be unfolding in the coming years with these discoveries.
Yeah, I can tell you, I share that sentiment that what we've sort of stumbled across and have discovered in like through not just experience, but also having our eyes been open in the Word of God. Oh my goodness, it's been there all along. How have I not read this like this? But the fact that it's not uniquely organic to us and that the Holy Spirit has been, the Lord has been showing this to many other people. I can't even tell you, Vic, like not just on social media, it's everywhere on social media. I feel like in a way you and I have sort of come late to the game. It's already been like, it's already been a topic for at least 3 years now. I'm like, how have I not heard about this? But you know, I'd be at a women's Bible study, and we're there we are in a study talking about something that has nothing to do with this, and somebody will just say something, and I'll go, did you like? Are you playing with me? Like, this has nothing to do with parasites or like this study has nothing to do with that. But it like the Bible study would seemingly have nothing to do with that, would just get interrupted. And then we would just start talking about this stuff. And then
Okay, so it sounds like other people in your group are also obsessed with this idea. Is it weird that it keeps coming up? You guys clearly talk about it a lot.
it's so interesting the way that the Lord is opening up the eyes of so many people. But and I want to add this, Vic, but not just to believers, but to even those who would profess to have no faith.
Yeah.
But they believe in what they experience, and they believe in what they can see, and they can believe in what they can touch. And they are following the biblical protocols that we know cause healing in the body and in the spirit.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, because even if you look at a lot of the healings that Jesus did in the New Testament, they weren't people of great faith. They were centurions. So that would have been a Roman citizen, and they were just regular people on the streets. And he even asked one guy, "Do you have the faith to be healed?" He said, "Give me faith to be healed." In other words, like, no, you got to give me that too. But what's
Mhm.
cool about the way Jesus heals is he doesn't sit and wait around for us to learn Greek and Hebrew and go on a missions trip and then
Don't tell people what they should be doing with their faces. That's not cool. What are you doing? Don't comment on people's looks. It's not your business.
earn our healing. He
Mhm.
gives the healing to the people who least expect it, and then they follow him out of the overflow of that gratitude and that joy. And let me tell you, as someone who was recently healed from autoimmune, which is one of the reasons why we're both sitting here, is even if you're just healed from something like chronic fatigue or a wheat allergy, we're not even talking a life-threatening thing, or the people in the New Testament who couldn't walk, couldn't see, couldn't hear, debilitating things. And just the bits of autoimmune that I was cured from for the first like 8
Oh my god, she thinks she's been cured of autoimmune disease.
weeks, I was telling everybody and their brother, and
Mhm.
like the
Mhm.
mailman
I understand Wolf Clan. It's just not something that colloquially is like cool to bring up in general. I understand if you work in that industry why it would come to mind, but it's just comes off as judgmental.
was coming to the door. Like, you cannot help when
Yeah.
when you realize everything that's been going through my mind for the last, X number of years, every worry I've had, every doubt I've had, every anxiety, all the expense of these supplements and medication, the not wanting to go out, not wanting to, you know,
Mhm.
be seen all inflamed and looking like the Michelin man. Like, you don't understand that it's not just like, oh, cool, I can eat cinnamon rolls again. It's like, oh my gosh, I have my energy back. I'm not worried anymore about my genetic, written in stone day I'm going to die because everybody in my family dies in their 60s kind of a thing. And
Oh boy!
you are rescued from so much. You automatically inadvertently become a worshiper because you're
Yep.
running around and you're telling everybody what Jesus did. And there's such a comparison. I just think about the woman, I think it was the woman with the issue of blood that Jesus healed on the Sabbath. And
Yeah.
then Jesus was chastised for healing on the Sabbath, and he puts them in their place. But what's interesting to me is it says flat out in the scripture that she'd spent every dime she had.
Mhm.
She was searching for years, which probably meant she was coming to the synagogue every Saturday, asking men of God to lay hands on her and put oil on her and heal her. And nothing had worked.
And
And so
right.
when you get to the point where you have tried everything and you've gone broke because this place doesn't take insurance
Mhm.
and it's $300 a month in supplements, and you're eating food that's not enjoyable anymore, and you're being sidelined at family gatherings because you can't eat half of the stuff on the table. Like,
Yeah.
so much of what Jesus did, we look at it like he healed people. No, so much of what he did is he brought outcasts back into fellowship. Because
Yeah.
if you were sick, if you had leprosy, if you were demon possessed, if you were blind, if you were a beggar, if if you weren't good enough, you were an outlier. You were outside of the fellowship. And so it
Yeah.
wasn't just that he was curing disease.
This is profoundly sad. People who have no hope outside of a delusion. That's very sad. I'm gonna move on, because it's depressing the fuck out of me. I hope at some point they get actual help for whatever health issues they may have. Because holy shit. Remember the lady that said methamphetamine was actually helping you, connect to higher dimensions? She's back.
So, since before now, you've seen the serious side of me. The one who's here to change the systems and bring the land back to the people. So, this is the side of me I haven't shown you yet. And what I'm going to show you is...
Kagami says what doesn't help with the spread of delusion is that there's an actual diagnosis of mental illness where the patient hallucinates insects and other things under their skin, causing a constant itch. Patients often pick at their skin until they bleed, and interestingly, you can trick their brain into seeing the truth with reflections. It's a serious condition that people like this latch on to. Oof.
What it looks like to release the persecution imprint. All those years, our spiritual gifts were suppressed. They burnt us, they stoned us, they chopped our heads off, they took our children. This is what releasing the persecution imprint looks like.
I want to be clear, I didn't add these effects. I did not add these effects. I did not add these effects.
Whoa.
Hold on, if I put on my 3D glasses, does it just look normal? Because it's like not a real 3D image, it's just the same image, red and blue. What happens? Hold on. Oh, it looks terrible! Oh, it looks so bad! Yeah, don't do that.
Whoa, I don't know how much of this there is, but it's like I'm being choked around my neck. My masculine side, so my voice, yeah, there's a lot here, a lot of energy to move. I've not only got to do this, and now I've got to release it somatically, which I'll probably do by burping. But
By booping?
I won't do that in front of you because you'll be like, what the fuck? So this is what the persecution imprint looks like, where they burnt us at the stake because they were scared of what we knew.
Alright, starting to think meth is not good for you. Who would have thought? Oh, Carrie's back, and so is Smoo. Let's watch a quick thing. I did skip ahead to a little bit before Smoo starts, because you'll never believe what aliens did to Carrie.
I didn't have a very good night last night. The Galactics decided that it was time my stomach was cleaned out. I spent half the night sitting on the toilet with the most ridiculous pain in my stomach.
The aliens gave her diarrhea. Aliens did it on the bingo card. Aliens gave Sky Prince diarrhea. So that's good.
So yes. They do it every 6 to 8 weeks. It's like, ugh.
You have diarrhea every 6 to 8 weeks? Are you okay? What the fuck?
Anyway, now my stomach feels like I've done about 500 stomach crunches or sit-ups. Okay, so let's start, okay?
Oh, and we're not even doing a preamble. We're just all of a sudden we're Smoo. Fuck theatrics, I guess. She's Smoo now.
We start now? That explains your rosy cheeks. Yeah. So I probably will get a bit tired towards the end.
Oh, she's going back and forth. Oh, God.
Channeling Smoo.
Reminds me of Two Souls, One Bod. Is anyone familiar with Two Souls, One Bod? That's a subject for another day.
Not a happy stomach, and yeah, that's all my excuses. So far. So far. So yes. Okay, so let's talk about the training program. Okay, so very soon. Okay, very soon. I don't know how soon.
So if you don't know, this is Carrie. She's a medbed scammer. She pretends to summon this galactic child named Smoo, who is the project manager for getting medbeds to Earth.
Okay, because
Jitara says, I just got done getting my hair cut. The barber was a new guy I didn't recognize, and he's only slightly older than me. He was talking about conspiracy theories he believes, in which ranged from Black Americans being the indigenous people of the Americas to not quite believing that the transatlantic slave trade happened. He also flirted with my mom and gave her his number, despite her saying she's married. Was it Hans Wormhat? That's fun.
The RV has to go first. Okay, the revaluation of currencies have to go first. Now there is a plan. Okay, the next window they're trying to do the RV is Kerry's this afternoon, so Australia afternoon time. Okay, about between 2 and 8. Like, it's a big window between 2 and 8 this afternoon.
Baja, thanks for a 285 stream streak. That is many streams.
PM, Eastern Australia time, is the next window for the RV to occur. We are very, very, very close, I promise you, okay? They're just coming up with all bullshit things to not do it. Now, the transition, okay, they do want a proper transition into the financial abundance, okay, which frees up humanity. Now, there is something within the White Hat Alliance that want to maintain a certain amount of power, okay, a certain amount of control. So it essentially is the switch or transfer of control from one wing of the bird to the other, okay? Basically, that's what it is. But this wing of the bird is much more for the people. It's not complete freedom, okay? Many people think it is complete freedom. It isn't. They will still have a certain amount of control. Now, they must have a certain amount of control so that because humanity's consciousness is not yet a minimum of high 4D, okay? So they must maintain a certain amount of control for the lower 3D people, okay? But
so we're all too low vibration to be free. You heard it here first.
Still, the controllers are still very much in their ego. They don't want full release of power. They don't want, because if you remember, you can only get up very, very high in any field if you have that drive, okay? And to have that drive, you need the ego. You need to be a perfectionist. You need to be able to do whatever it takes to get to that level, okay? Trump is no exception to this.
Oh no! Smoo's a Trump supporter! Damn alien child with politics I don't agree with.
Okay, Trump is no exception to this. He still has a lot of ego. He still has a lot of wanting to control, although not as much as the other side. He's more for the people. We give you back more.
Jesus Christ.
Your control. But I still have the control so that you don't go off and destroy humanity. Okay? So there still must be a certain amount of control until humanity as a collective reaches a certain level of frequency, of consciousness. But you still have those in the leadership which want to maintain control, okay? So there is the illusion of freedom without really 100% freedom. It's just more freedom than what you had, okay? So as the consciousness develops, you will have more and more and more freedoms, and this of course will take time, okay?
The beatings will continue until morale improves. MSKTB89, thanks for 49 months, says, Moo, stay away from Trump, you're still a child.
So when these, excuse my language, assholes get off
Smoo, I'm telling your parents.
their bum and push the green button to release the RV, and yes, I'm very frustrated with them, I'm very angry with them. When they do that, okay, after the last redemption appointment, the final one, okay, around the world, within about 2 to 3 weeks, more disclosure will start to come, including the med beds to the public, okay? Now, disclosure will happen many different ways, okay, many different ways. First of all, Kerry is not going to do her Medbed live stream, okay? Because that has been deemed too dangerous.
Oh, go fuck yourself. So she was gonna do a video showing the medbed, but of course the Galactic said it's too dangerous. It's not that she's making all this up and scamming people. No, it's just too dangerous. The Galactics have decided it's too dangerous for her to show evidence that this is real. Isn't that always how it is with these Galactics? All this goddamn red cyber tape.
For a public figure to be live, okay? She would have to end up in a bunker somewhere, fully insulated, protected, all of that. Okay, so how it's gonna go is the original way. And I'm leading up to the spiritual stuff. Don't worry, I'm getting there. Okay, but I have to cover this first so you understand what is the process and what is happening. Okay. So the original way they were going to do disclosure is they are going to send a film crew or video crew, news crew, into a military base where they will document and video the beds, okay? And the media, the news crew will be taken around the center, okay, and shown the different types of beds, the different setup, all of this kind of stuff. And then some unknown
Moves goalposts on the bingo card.
person is going to have their, which will be a fake identity, okay? They probably will be military under a fake identity, okay? They will have a small, very small procedure like regrowing teeth. Very, very tiny procedure. And they will show the whole process of before and after.
I volunteer.
Okay? And the news crew will say...
Moss Sloth says, I'm confused. Does our audience believe Zmoo is real, or do they think the medbeds are real and Zmoo is just a quirky thing she does? They believe that Zmoo is real. They think that Zmoo is a real alien that is talking through Carrie.
This is military trial. Okay, this is the technology military has been developing, and
person who was the troll, it's spelled Y-O-U apostrophe L-L. Please learn to spell in your attempts to hurt people's feelings. It would work better, because instead of going, oh, I feel bad about myself, all I'm thinking is, holy shit, this person's an idiot that's basically illiterate. So I would recommend, if you intend to hurt people's feelings, make it less clear you're a dipshit in the attempt.
Military
If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it.
are now conducting trials to civilians if you wish to take part. Okay? And it will be a website. Okay? But this will be on mainstream TV. So not a scam, okay? So it'll be a website. If you would like to take part in this, and it's around the world, we can transport you, we can organize all of this and all of that. You can sign up here, submit your details, and you will be contacted. Okay, you will be contacted for that. Okay, it'll go something like that. They're still working on the tiny details. It'll be something.
No, Harold Edelman, it doesn't count if it's in chat.
Something like that. Now, also, after that, about a month after that initial disclosure, they will come up with the Medbed training applications. Would you like to be trained? Now, before that, okay, before that, the applications for the Medbeds and the spiritual counselor will be released into the humanitarian communities. Okay, now the people who receive humanitarian funding will get these application forms to give to the people that they're hiring. Okay,
At this point, is the scam just to get people to give her money, and like the scam is, I'll talk about such boring bureaucratic red tape, no one will question me. They just don't watch the streams.
Those humanitarians can circulate it through the humanitarian community. Okay, so the humanitarians will receive those applications first. Okay, they can circulate it and share it through the community. About a month.
No offense, but if you, especially like a humanitarian community that like might be operating out of like developing nations, like, I don't mean to, like, if you put a limited number of magical beds on the earth that can heal any issue, people are gonna start to fight over them. You know what I mean? You've basically put, like, the golden fleece on Earth. People are gonna chase after it.
After the disclosure of the medbeds,
Just humanitarian workers outright, like, getting murdered by people trying to get their med beds.
those applications will be made public. Now, in saying this, it doesn't matter which course you choose. If you want to do medbeds, choose the medbed course, okay? Because the part of the medbed training is actually doing the spiritual counselor training too, okay? They are both, because you need the spiritual side to do the medbed side, okay?
Thanks, Moo.
Necessary. Mediumship to be spiritual counselor is very necessary.
You gotta be psychic. Makes sense. Alright, I think I've had enough smoo. Oh boy, flat earth stuff. I don't know if that'll be fun. We can look at some of the red light stuff. But first I'm gonna use the bathroom. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about, Dan to Dan. I mean, I don't like anime, no. Cher will tell you about, Space 1999. That's my personality. Sure. Alright, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Sorry, my Jason bear kept falling down. Have I shown you my Jason bear? It's so cute. Look at my Jason bear. Isn't he adorable? He's so cute. I know they did a Freddy one too, which I don't have. That's from B Movie Props. I don't know if they still do this actually, but it was B, the letter B, movieprops.com. It's very cute. Okay, more alt health bullshit. Fennikagami says, I knew you would like Dan to Dan. You excited season 2's coming out? You should be Alien Godzilla. And you should be. Alien Godzilla is coming and it'll only get wackier. Plus, Okarun and Momo's romance is chef's kiss. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen anime in my life. How dare you insinuate I've seen anime?
All right, we're here once again with another.
Once again, I do want to point out, and I hate to point this out, but he should stop doing it. Every person who works for him appears to be a woman much younger than him. No male employees, seemingly. That's interesting.
Another fabulous episode going live. We're going to zoom it in here because we have some of our red light technology here in the background. And today what we're going to do is we're going to get in and talk a little bit about the benefits of red light.
Oh, Angel Eyes, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. I really appreciate it. We are halfway through the stream, so I guess I will say, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream. And if you want to help support the stream, just like Angel Eyes just did, you can always become a subscriber on Twitch, become a member on YouTube, gift memberships on YouTube, or subs on Twitch. Always helps. Thank you. Thanks again, Angel Eyes.
Red light technology. We've got red light everywhere. So I'm actually red light right now myself. Think I'll go to some blue.
Hold on, let me turn on my red light technology. Oh, that's not very visible, is it? That's not helpful. Well, the bit's ruined, because red light doesn't show as much as the other kinds of light. God damn it. Never mind.
Blue light there. But this is really a popular technology, and it's actually become very mainstream. And red light technology is being used for a whole host of different things. Now, today we have Christina with us. Abby will be here shortly. But right now, what we're doing is we're basically focusing on some of the top selling red light products, what they do, how they work. And, you know, getting access to the technology is actually really quite easy. And we're going to start off first with some of the benefits of red light. So red light technology and infrared light, which basically is primarily the same thing, but they're different wave spectrums. So they do have a couple different types of benefits. But we're going to go through first off, and we're going to talk about some of the benefits of the red light technology. For everybody that's jumping on today, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We do have a couple people that
Green guy says you use the computer lighting. I didn't actually. This is a remote that's similar to that remote, but I actually got for the Bluetooth light bulbs I have above me.
I try to get information from. We are giving away some red light.
She seems bored shitless. Yeah, her creepy old boss wanted her to come in and film a video. Of course she's bored.
Technology today for people that are commenting and sharing the video. So we'll get your information and then we're going to run through that. But red light has a lot of benefits. I'm going to just start with some of the core ones. Number one is the skin. So from an aesthetic standpoint, a lot of people are using red light technology for wrinkles and
the red light stuff is prolific. Like, I see this stuff at, like, normal stores. Please stop with this red light shit.
I think that in a time and place right now where Botox and other things are becoming very popular, it's nice to have options and alternatives of other types of technology that are available that are not going to be.
That's hilarious, Carpcosian.
Invasive and not also be something that you have to constantly, you know, have injections and things for. And a lot of people, like I said, are using it for that. Now, one of the other things that they're using it for is for hair growth And we're going to talk about that because the light comes in and stimulates the hair follicles. It increases circulation. And there is a lot of data that's out there that's showing that it's really helping and assisting with thickening hair, growing hair. And we have actually something that I'm using myself is the red light hat, which is really a great little device. You basically just plug this thing in and put it on, and you can wear it. I can wear it right now while we're
Wow, now you look like an electric powered asshole. Great.
actually talking. So the red light technology is also very popular for hair growth. And so I'll bring the hat back on and take it off as we go. But the red light technology is also good for wound healing. It's good for detoxification.
No, I can't make out the details on his pendant either.
It's also good for supporting the immune system. One of the things red light's also very good for is stimulating the mitochondria within the cell. And
Every time I'm telling you, they only bring up the mitochondria because it's the one cellular organelle everyone remembers. No one brings up the fucking endoplasmic reticulum, and it's bullshit.
increasing the production of ATP. And ATP is basically the fuel that the body runs on. And so when you're
Angel Eyes with a $10 tip says, "You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate it."
getting more energy and you're getting
We're almost halfway to the summer costumes tip goal, which is good because we're about halfway through the summer. By the time this is done, it'll have to turn into the costume tip goal, or the winter costume tip goal, which is fine. Either way, it'll get used towards costumes.
better recovery, overall health and wellness is definitely being affected. And so these are other things here that we've got that are, other things that are for discussion. It relieves muscle and joint pain. So we have, in fact, to get back to the skin, and we'll get into that also, there's the red light masks. And the red light mask is something that you can put on your face and just wear this. And this is also something we're going to turn on and we'll mess with. That's also very popular. And if you look behind us, we've got the full red light. Um, we got the full red light panel back there, which is a full size body panel that you can lay down under. And that has an adjustable base to it. So you can raise and lower it. And it can also be tilted up and down. And so for wellness centers and home care and being able to use these things at home, those full body light panels are really powerful.
He's gonna make her put this shit on to demonstrate, isn't he?
Right above Christine's shoulder, right there is another light size panel that we carry right there. Exactly. So,
like which direction?
exactly. It's always
I'm scared to know how much he's charging for these light panels. He charges $500 for a hair dryer he's rebranded, so.
the opposite of what you're looking at. It also supports brain health and mental clarity. So red light technology is also supporting mental health and brain health and mental clarity. It's shown to
Doesn't appear to be helping you. Boom, roasted.
cognitive function, reducing brain fog, and may help with neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And
Oh my god, it may. None of these claims have been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. I know that we're in an era where nothing matters and it's not illegal to scam people anymore, but I wish it wasn't. This shit sucks.
And we're in a time right now where Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease is really at an all-time high. I don't think that there's ever been a time in my life where I've seen such a drastic increase of those conditions. And every day we
Are you seeing it more because you're older and your friends' parents are developing it because they're older and you're hearing about it more? People are probably also living longer these days, so it's going to happen more because the longer you live, the more likely you have stuff like that happen.
get calls from people with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other different types of cognitive type diagnoses where they're looking for technology. So there is some potential help there available with red light technology. Now, it also enhances sleep quality. And so by regulating circadian rhythms, reducing inflammation and stress hormones, light therapy can be used to help people fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper, more restful sleep.
That's a ridiculous claim. A red light's gonna make you fall asleep and sleep better?
And it also reduces stress and anxiety. It helps balance the autonomic
Autonomic, you fuck.
nervous system, promoting relaxation and reducing cortisol levels. So these are a lot of benefits that you're going to get from red light technology. And we've got, the system here, the full body one that we use at our facility. And this is definitely one of the most popular pieces
By
of
the way, when anyone's promising you or vaguely promising people in general that, oh, this product or service can do this and this and this, and it's like a shotgun, like it's like the widest swath of unrelated illnesses you can imagine. It's a red flag that it's a scam. They're just trying to get as many potential marks as possible, people with different issues, so they say it's a cure for all of these issues.
technology in our little wellness center that we have here. So if you're looking for red light technology and you're looking for ways to promote wellness and reduce wrinkles and increase hair growth, all these different things, red light is definitely something that you want to take into consideration. So if you have questions,
Everyone knows if you really want to stop hair loss, you have to go on T blockers and start estrogen. So do it today. Wink.
go ahead, throw them in the chat. And we're going to go through now and doing some product demos on some of the red light technology that we've got that's really,
Hey,
really starting
Veldwind.
to sell fast. I mean, we're getting a lot of requests for the hat, for the mask, and for some of these other technologies. Now, the mask is actually quite easy to use also. You're going to have a simple on-off switch for the mask. And we're going to go ahead here. It's got a little hand control, and we're going to go ahead and turn that on and put that on. If you want to go ahead and just work on that, I think that needs to be plugged in. And then also, this is one of our most popular devices. This is just a little mini red light panel. And
a bunch of those.
yeah, these are really going fast, and it has a little piece on it back here, so you can set it down and you can adjust the angle that it's at. But this is something that you can put easily on a desk. A lot of people actually put red light right on the areas of the body where they have stiffness, soreness, or some kind of discomfort. And so if you have a sore shoulder, you can put it right there. It's actually fairly easy to use. You hold down the little green button right here, and then I have two options on this. I can go with near infrared light, and I can also go with red light. And I'll go with the red light to start with. I'm going to press red light, then go to, and now I can put it, if I say I want to help reduce wrinkles on my neck.
When I was a kid, I had a Fisher-Price flashlight that you could do normal light, or green light, or red light. I think it probably cost about $12 to buy. How much are you charging for this, sir? I gotta find out. Where's the link? Where's this stupid bullshit? Didn't even link it in the description. It's a bad scam. Here it is. Let's find his red light bullshit. Red light and infrared technology. How much is that little light bar? Oh, please tell me that that's not it. It's gotta be a smaller one, right? Oh, boy! He's selling this for $179 and claiming that's a sale. He's saying it's originally almost $300, but I'll assume he's doing the scam where it's always this price and it just always says it was originally that. Well, that's disgusting. The full body panel that they showed, they're selling for almost $5,000. So that's great. How much is the stupid hat that makes you look like a dick? Ooh, $169. Wow. I can look like an asshole for free. So that's great. And the mask is also $159. Great. Definitely worth it.
I can put it right there, and I can basically be working on the computer. And like I said, I've got this piece right here, so I can adjust where it's actually being used at. And this is really, really good for reducing soreness in different parts of the body. If I wanted to, and say I had a sore wrist, You know, I could just put it right there. I could kind of go about.
Are the full body red light panel and the Medbed related? Not directly, only in the sense that they are both alt health woo-woo scam devices, and that's the business he's in, is in scam medical devices. Now, he also sells real medical devices, like actual hospital beds and stuff, but I get the vibe that basically people will come in, and they're often people who have health issues, chronic pain, maybe cancer, whatever, and he will upsell them on this scam stuff while they're in to get actual medical equipment, which is the scummiest business model in history. Like, unironically, it's disgusting. I hate this man.
My functions and let it just sit on a desktop. So these little mini red light panels are really popular. We're selling a lot of these. And like I said, I'm going to turn it off and just hit the off button. And then I'm going to go ahead and instead of doing the red light, I'm going to do the near infrared. And the near infrared is actually interesting because I don't know if you can see, but it throws off sort of a glow. And the one thing that's interesting about the light spectrum is that our eyes only see about 7 or 8% of the actual light spectrum. So some of the light, especially the infrared light, we're not able to perceive or actually pick that up. But with the red light technology, that's technology that we are able to see. And so once again, I'm just going to turn it off, hit the middle button, and then I'll go to the red light technology and then hit that, and then hit red light. Oh, here we go. And then put that back on again. So the red light technology, like I said, for skin, face, all different types of things is really, really, really beneficial. And I know people that use these and they'll put them on their knees. They'll literally just put it on like a little chair and set it next to their knees. I'm going to just put it right here on the desktop or on the computer here. And you can see that I can kind of adjust it, just put it so it's not, I don't want to blind us out here, but you know, I can,
can't find the plug.
yeah, I can't find the plug. So I can just,
All right. I'm tapping out on this video. He pisses me off. He pisses me off in ways you will never understand. Well, maybe after my video comes out, you'll understand. But like, that guy's a bad guy. That guy is such a bad guy. I can't even. I've turned into a Tumblr person. Anyway, you curious about what the relationship between humans and dragons is? Well, this guy is gonna channel the answer.
The dragon beings have multiple levels of expression. On the highest of levels, you would understand them as energy beings that are, in a certain sense, the ley lines, the meridians of the universe. In other words, think of the dragons as the invisible links of connection that attach all of the stars and all of the planets and all of the people together, making a type of superorganism.
That's just gravity that connects all of these things.
The nodes,
I didn't know gravity was dragons. That's cool.
the tapestry, held together by dragons. So they transfer energies, they transform energies, they program and guide energies. So think of them as Masonic archetypes.
Okay, I also do want to point out, if you're gonna channel a dragon entity, this is probably the best shirt to do it in. This guy's got a vibe, and the vibe is insane. He wore a t-shirt and some sort of silk suit top? What is this? It's something. He looks like he's on that pickup artist show with the mystery guy. He's peacocking.
Attacks of the universe. Dragons at the highest level.
What's the necklace? It looks like a megalodon tooth or something.
When dragons begin to manifest themselves from energy form into a form of greater, you could say, physicality, they may incarnate as elemental spirits, the spirit of the thunderstorm, the spirit of the volcano, the spirit of the ocean. And they represent that deep primordial power that you see embodied in the natural world so perfectly. So dragons can also take on those forms.
Uses AI on the bingo card for the background, by the way. Alden Undying with 40 bits says, okay, but seriously, taking this for a D&D setting aside my Vampire the Masquerade game, perfect.
More physicalized way, acting as the spirit behind the element within a given matrix. Dragons can then densify even further and take on bodies that are similar to the saurian species that you're used to in your evolutionary science books. So many dragons were quite similar to the dinosaurs. Not quite, though. Think of dinosaur consciousness as a little more reptilian. The saurian reptile consciousness seeks to evolve into the totally transcendent avian consciousness.
Yeah, Matrix on the bingo card and word salad.
The dragon
Thanks, Mithril Mist.
is that process. So the dragons of the earth acted as mentors for the reptilian species and also acted as mentors for humanity. The dragons would teach both groups. The dragons would assist both groups in their focus, their path, and their evolutionary power, because the dragon is this alchemical being, a blend of bird and reptile. It is able to see from higher and lower perspectives. It is able to understand what is above, what is below, and everything in between, making the dragon a master level guide and mediator. They are able to create peace. They're able to see both sides of the equation, both sides of the coin, and then they're able to balance it. So humanity worked with dragons to develop not only magical practice, but also organizational process and protocol within governance, within organization, and within one's life and energy.
Dragons helped invent government? I didn't learn about that in my civics class.
Field. So dragons have taught humanity. The way it usually goes, the dragon teaches the sage teaches the ruler teaches the people. This is how it worked in the ancient times.
Sure, why not? Tea Time Tea with 40 bits says, when I was a teen, I believed in this kind of nonsense. I got into Otherkin, had a dragon magic book, but I quickly realized it was just me making shit up in my own mind. It's kind of sad to see an adult who's never had that revelation, yeah. And to be clear, teens, it makes sense to do weird, cringy shit. That's fine. But yeah, when it's adults, it's kind of sad.
So my talk today is called Not Zero, Saving Our Community Assets. Of course, net zero is to leave us with nothing. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. And
There's that fucking line again.
totalitarian regimes always rely on an officer class to suppress truth and to suppress freedom. And that is more of a priority than catching muggers and other miscreants in Croydon Town Centre. That's why we have such a over-the-top force here today to watch over us. And I apologise that we don't have amplification, so I'll try and speak up as much as I can, but that's because...
How do I explain this? I always find Australian, not sovereign citizens, though sovereign citizens from Australia are interesting. Conspiracy theorists from Australia are interesting to me because, how do I explain this? Australia to me feels like if the UK wanted to be America and tried to be America. Australia feels like UK and America had a baby, and the baby's like the baby says shit like macas, and you just go like, okay, honey, and you're proud of him anyway, even though like there's something wrong with the kid.
Because we'll get turfed out if we do anything amplified. So, yeah, the totalitarian regime is imposing this net zero scam. Nothing to do with carbon dioxide, nothing to do with rising temperatures, nothing to do with a climate crisis. It's all about control. And you can read all about it. I've just got a few copies left of my book today, Green in Tooth and Claw, The Misanthropic Mission of Climate Alarm. Now, remember the 1980s, and I think many of you here today probably do remember the 1980s.
Old!
And isn't it
You're old! You're old!
ironic that 1984 was what some of us often describe as the peak of pop music, the peak of freedom.
Is this unironically going to be when I was a kid, everything was the best? It just so happens that for everyone, the best time in human history was when they were a child. Isn't that incredible?
The future was so bright, you've got to wear shades. It was all looking up, wasn't it? We thought things were going to get better and better. Okay, there were problems back then. You had the miners' strike, you had trouble in Northern Ireland. We've always got problems. But we thought generally we're on an upward climb. How the country has changed since then. What we see with the country now is the realization not of the 1984 that many of us can remember, dancing to
But the 1984 of George Orwell!
Wham and Frank.
What an original observation, sir. Wow, has anyone ever compared modern political discourse to George Orwell's 1984? I don't think anyone's ever done that. Incredible, sir. How have you made such an original thought?
He goes to Hollywood. No, the 1984 of George Orwell is what's being created today. Who can doubt that with the creeping digital surveillance and totalitarianism everywhere we look? But the country has changed physically. We can look around us. We can see the demographic replacement. And I'm not saying...
Oh, he's racist. Cool. Hey, sir, do you think white people were in Australia originally? Or do you think there were maybe some original people there before you? Maybe some sort of aboriginal people?
saying that with any criticism.
Am I okay? Yeah, I swallowed water down the wrong pipe.
Of individuals from wherever they are in the world, but this is...
It's okay that he's not Australian. This is still in Australia. Sorry. At least I'm pretty sure it was. Oh no, you're right. It's Britain. I'm sorry. I apologize. I think I got confused because this is from an event and the first person we watched was from Australia, so I assumed it was an Australian event. But this is a UK event. I apologize. Fennikagami says that you'll own nothing. No one will own a business fear-mongering thing is interesting. Why do you want to own a small business and property, security, feeling like you're contributing to your community, feeling a connection to your work? All of that and the fact that you don't have that is capitalism. If you own the means of production, you'll have that feeling, but I'm preaching to the choir here.
Clearly a deliberate strategy to destroy a traditional society in this country. The landscape is changing. Town centres with ever-rising towers. Every time I go through the train, East Croydon on the train, there's another tower rising. So why do we...
Jesse, thanks for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube.
We need all these flats. The birth rate is plummeting. We're now down to 1.5 babies per woman, right? That is well below replacement.
Okay, but people are still moving generally from rural areas to urban areas because it's where work is and where people are. So you might be building fewer houses in rural areas and more apartment buildings or flats in the UK.
Level. But of course, what's happening is they're bringing in people from what we used to know as the third world. Why are they...
Fucking gross, man.
They're doing that because These are the people they want. They don't want us. They are creating a slave class. People from regions of the world with no culture of individual rights and liberty.
What the fuck is this guy's problem?
People who are accustomed to authoritarian leaders and corruption. People low in trust beyond their own kith and kin. People who are different to the host
He's just straight up saying this shit with his whole chest, too.
society in language, norms, and beliefs. People who will gladly accept a small urban apartment. People who will do what they're told. The New World Order is being built on people from that sense of the powers that be tell us what to do and we do it.
This is genuine. Like, I know you all know this. This is disgusting. This is a person who's deeply paranoid and has turned that paranoia into hate. Hate for people different than himself, who he perceives to be lesser than himself, who he clearly perceives to be less capable of individual human thought, which is just blatant fucking racism. Insane.
That is why China is a laboratory for the New World Order. That is why China has been used to bring in the social credit system. China with its communist system. But in the West, we have a growing number of people who are of collectivist bent because they come from parts of the world where they have often Islamic governments that really don't run for theocratic reasons, although it's sometimes called that. They run for the same reason that communist systems run, and the same reason that any authoritarian system runs. It's for control. But it is worth noting that Islam itself means...
Alistair Page says, thanks for your stream. Opinions on the occult. My parents raised me under the religion of Thelema. Have you heard of it or Alistair Crowley? I've heard the term before. I'd have to re-familiarize myself with it, but I've heard it discussed. What are my opinions on the occult? I don't think it's real. Like, certainly there are people who believe it and do certain practices based on that belief, but I don't believe that the underlying spiritual beliefs of it are true. I don't believe in the supernatural. I don't believe in magic or spirits or anything like that. So it's certainly a belief system that certain people have, but I don't think it's backed by reality.
Submission. So the urban environment is being steadily built up, but as they keep building it, the more it's being dehumanized. The more people they crowd into our cities, the fewer the social amenities. Have you noticed that?
Okay. I'm getting away from white nationalist fuck guy because he's pissing me off. So, no thanks.
Hey guys.
Benekagami says, I kind of wanted to bring this up during CC, but cons, and honestly, conspiracy theorists at this point have three types of people. Jewish people, brown black people, and children, and honestly, I think they hate children the most. Is this people they don't like? They only like the idea of children as a thing they can virtue signal as good people by protecting and can control and mold, but actual children with any kind of independence, they hate them. They are to be forced, corrected, beaten, used, tortures. Children exist for adults. I think it's... I don't know if they would think of it in those categories, but they certainly don't like anyone different than themselves who steps out of their particular lines. And then there was a quick tip. Just a Peach says, most people moving to the UK are from Commonwealth countries, as I understand it. So first world countries like India, Canada, and the Caribbean islands and most parts of Africa. They don't necessarily know what... How do I put this? When they say third world countries, they don't mean it in the original definition. So for those who don't know, back in the day, a first world country was a country that was aligned with the United States in the Cold War. Third third world countries were aligned with the Soviet Union, and second world countries were neutral. But these days, people generally use it to mean what they think are bad countries, and by that I mean usually they mean non-white. So it's pretty fucked up. What do I think about Aleister Crowley? I think that he was a weird individual who probably did some fucked up shit, but he wasn't magical. Probably liked to have sex a lot and came up with a weird version of, like, beliefs in order to try and get that. He was a weird guy.
So I'm coming on here today because I'm going to be doing a video on false new age traps and also religious traps. And yeah, I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, so I find that what not a better time to do a video like this when there's just so much going on within new age and religion, and just it's a lot, right? It's a lot going on. Lots of cults, lots of everything right now, especially as we're all ascending. It's kind of wild. So to witness all this going on. So I just wanted to kind of relay some information, kind of just like what I'm feeling about all this, and kind of just my own personal experience and all that. But before I get in today, I just wanted to mention that, guys, we are halfway through July. It is the 15th today. We are 3 weeks out from Lionsgate. 3 weeks and 3 days out from Lionsgate, and I am feeling that energy. It is going to be, I don't even have a word to describe it, because this is going to be like the most
And why do you think that, Alistair Page?
intense and transformative. That time period is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna leave it at that, because we have a full moon on Lionsgate, and Lionsgate is like just the most powerful, I think it's the most powerful, one of the most powerful days of the year. So I'm really excited for this Lionsgate in particular, because
Do I know the Book of Law? Presumably it's a text written by Aleister Crowley. I assume it's important in the religion that your parents raised you within.
I think it's really going to speed up some shifts that are due to occur. So, and then we literally go from Lionsgate into it literally directly.
What is Lionsgate? It's, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's an astrology thing, I believe. It has something to do with alignments of planets. It's woo-woo bullshit.
Into an eclipse portal. Like, September, like, all of September is really going to be the eclipse portal. So we're going to, like, feel the energy of Lionsgate, like, up to 2 weeks after Lionsgate. But
it is my partner anniversary. Thanks, Chromatic Cuddlefish. For those who don't know, it's, what is it, my 5th? Is this my 5th partner anniversary or the 4th? It's been years.
Then, like, that next portal opens when the Lionsgate portal really closes, because Lionsgate, I feel it, like, 2 weeks before and after, so we should feel it from, like, July 25th to, like, August 22nd. But literally, like, the eclipse portal really opens 2 weeks before the lunar eclipse, so really it's gonna, like, open up, like, what, August 22nd, 23rd, or 24th, and then we go, like, directly into the next portal that's, like, stretching until, like, I think it's, like, what I channeled is, like, the
dilemma is not a conspiracy, it's ancient magical Egypt. What do you mean by that?
Portal, that eclipse portal, we're gonna
probably conspiracy theorist in chat. I don't know though.
Gonna feel it up until like 10:10. So that's like 10:10 is gonna be the official closure of that eclipse portal in September, because we have the 2 eclipses, and then we have the supermoon on the 6th, and then 10:10, the 6th of October, and then
dilemma was invented in 1908.
10:10 is gonna be like that closure day, which is going to be pretty potent. So, guys, we have a lot going on. I'm getting you all hyped up here because, oh my goodness, that's why I've been saying, like...
Crowley went to the center of pyramids to learn the mysteries. I don't know if he did that, if he ever actually went to Egypt, but even if he did, you don't learn secrets or mysteries by just, like, going into a pyramid. That's not how it works. Magic isn't real. There isn't any magic that he discovered or secret mysteries. He was just a guy. He was just a guy. I promise, he was just a guy.
There's something unfolding in those 3 months that I think it's going to be unprecedented, and I've been channeling this for 2 years now. So I'm going to get into the video, and yeah, so false new age and religious traps. So this video is definitely probably one that'll trigger some people's conditioning, and that's okay, because
I feel bad for this kid. We have covered this guy before. I know H. Gilbert in YouTube was asking. He's the guy that we covered, I think, last week. I don't remember specifically what it was about. HARP. He was talking about weather control, but he was like, I don't understand anything. He just seems like a really confused kid. No way the pyramids are tombs. Hey, fun fact, they are, though. So, maybe write that down so you don't forget.
you gotta have, I guess, that trigger to help in the ship.
TC Miles, the 12th, thanks for a $10 tip. Really appreciate it.
I don't know. That's just my interpretation on it, because
Dilemma is steeped in an Orientalist belief in the inherent mysticism of the East. That's a shame. Yeah, it's definitely conspiracy theorist shows up in chat now. That's a shame. Alistair Page, if you aren't just a troll, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt here and assume you're not, respectfully, if your parents raised you in this belief system, I think that they have done you a disservice. I believe they probably believed it, and they wanted you to believe what they believed, like parents tend to do. But unfortunately, it's not. There's nothing mystical, there's nothing magical. The pyramids are just tombs. You can learn a lot about them. They're interesting. You're very egotistical to claim something you don't know. You're the one claiming Aleister Crowley learned secret mysteries in a pyramid. Is he not egotistical for claiming walking into a pyramid gave him secret mystical knowledge? Again, I'm trying here to be respectful. I understand that these are your beliefs, and you're here in front of me. So I'm really trying to meet you halfway here. But there's nothing I can really say that's going to make you happy. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to change my mind in any way. So I guess I don't know, like, what do you want out of this, I guess? Why did you choose to come into the chat and talk about it? Because I assume there's, like, a reason. I don't think you would have asked if you didn't already have something in you that questioned it, you know?
yeah, I feel like any of this type of information's triggering for people still in religion.
Oh, there we go. There it is. This is what the LGBTQ believe. Do what thou wilt. Crowley's message. Except no, honey, it's not Crowley's message to just want to be yourself. Like, that's a message anyone can have. And it's not about that. It's not about mysticism. It's not about Satan. It's just about being yourself. And that's not an evil message.
In the Matrix, and there's nothing that I can really do about it, because my role is to just provide it in a non-judgmental,
literally his message in the Book of Law. I understand that it's a thing he said. I'm saying that that doesn't make him the originator of the thought that you should be yourself. I would also argue that the connotations of do what thou wilt is quite a bit darker and less empathetic than a statement of being who you are.
polarizing way as best as I can, even though it does sound pretty polarizing sometimes, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Because my intention is, 0-point neutrality.
Crowley had gay sex. Me too!
Here, like,
finally, something I have in common with Aleister Crowley.
I'm really not trying to play the side things. I mean, I can if I want to, but really it's just like there's no point. So that's just my intention. So false new age trap. So I want to first start with new age. And
Nothing wrong with gay sex. I didn't say there is. There isn't. You seem to think so, though. I don't understand. I guess I'm confused by what your ethos even is. What are you... What is this? Weird, I use that as a slur. I'm not. I literally said I have it. I'm using it as a slur that I have gay sex? What? I can't even tell at this point. I might be getting poed. Who knows?
And then I'm gonna get into religion, because it's pretty wild out there with just what's going on. Like, guys, like I said, I'm not personally religious. I don't identify with New Age, so I'm coming at this with 0-point neutrality, like, just with the way that I see it, and just kind of how they're both distractions. Like, they're both distractions. So I'm gonna get into that, because some people are like, oh, you talk about New Age stuff. This is New Age, that's New Age. Just because you bring up some points that are considered in the realm of New Age, that doesn't necessarily mean that you believe in...
Just thoughts on Thelema? Again, I don't know a ton about it, but I would imagine I would probably not believe it, because I'm not big on religion. I don't think there is a singular capital T truth in that way. I don't think anyone has ever written a book in the history of mankind that had the answer. The world is a lot of gray areas. It's mostly gray areas. It's complicated. It's scary. It is what it is. I don't have particular opinions on that particular faith. I don't believe any particular faith is true in the absolute. I think some of them have good ideas. Many of them have bad ideas.
All those, ideas and kind of just the bypassing.
Green guy with the $3 tip says, Hannah, I picked about a basketball worth of cherry tomatoes from my garden. The wife helped me pick the tops off and now drying them in the oven with oil and garlic for storage. Ooh, yummy.
And just because I could sometimes bring up some things about, religion that are
You follow it without knowing. No, that's not how that works. That's not how anything works.
True, that doesn't mean I surrender to the full narrative that has a lot of false information in it and misinformation in it, right? So what's going on with New Age? So I don't really know how to describe it, because it seems like it's this...
Let me say this. When you say you already follow it without knowing, could I say to you, you already follow the Bible without knowing because you haven't murdered anyone, and that's one of the 10 Commandments. You know what I mean? You're not following the Bible just because you happen to be doing one of the things it says.
I feel like it's a free-for-all. And what I mean by that is there's so many, and
I know you don't follow the Bible. I didn't say you did. It's called a metaphor. It's a comparison. I was drawing a comparison.
Not saying like I'm in...
Why do I... I'm so hungry.
In that. Like, I might have some, I have some New Age, beliefs, and but like I said, there's truth and lies, or that sounds, there's truth and deception, I think, in every sort of religion or spiritual belief or in any of that. So, I'm just, I'm not saying it's just New Age, it's religion, too. So, in the New Age...
I'm not gonna boot them because they haven't done anything, but I'm gonna ignore them. I am just going on about it. So that's it. I'm done interacting. If chat wants to interact with them, they can, but I'm done.
Belief system or the community stuff. It's I don't know how to say it besides it's like a free-for-all, and on one extreme we have people doing...
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been able to pay attention to any of what this guy is saying because I've been thinking about the chatter, so I gotta move on to another video. I'm so sorry. Veltwin with a $5 super chat says, not to incentivize poking at chatters, but well done. You're very well spoken on this kind of thing. Thank you. I've been talking on the internet for a decade or so at this point.
The lightning strikes, they truly do look like there are bands, frequencies coming down from the
Thanks,
sky.
Lily Slug. Welcome. Thanks for
I've
following.
noticed this for years, for the past probably 4 or 5 years, that the lightning doesn't seem like it's normal. I did see like 1 or 2 actual lightning bolts, but for the most part, it looked like some kind of frequencies were making the different shades of light and flashes.
This is original evil. This is this is original evil Gina, because it turned out that Gina, it was a Trump supporter, which is a shame. What are we talking about? Conspiracy theorists. I debunk conspiracy theorists, and we talk about what they believe and why they believe it. It's usually pretty fun.
There you go, people. Obviously, you can see that it was published in 1897. It was just before the 1900s when the globe theory was introduced, and
oh, this is so funny. I actually have a copy of this article that I almost used his real name. Broha Blast gave me. Let me see, where's my copy of it? Here it is. I literally have the copy in my desk. He actually had the original Farmer's Almanac that this was in. This is from 1925, so it's a republishing of this article. But, yeah, here's a Flat Earth article from 1925. Believe it or not, there have been Flat Earthers, for a while. This is a conspiracy theorist, theory, rather, that isn't new. There were Flat Earthers, like Samuel Rowbotham, and this guy, whose name I'm forgetting. McDonald something, I think. J. McDonald was his name. Who touted flat earth theories in the early 20th century and the late 19th century. It's actually kind of funny because a lot of flat earthers these days literally just plagiarize this. They haven't changed a lot of the arguments very much. Many of them literally just steal the work of 100-year-old flat earthers and claim it as their own. It's pathetic. I did hear about the Elmo thing. That's what you get for being on Twitter. Get off Twitter. Green Guy with $3 says, lightning is cool. It superheats the air and splits molecules that in turn make new ones, and some are basic fertilizer for plants. Fun fact.
Took place. And really what it was, it was basically a test, okay, that is obviously went way too far. And it was a test to see if they can test the world, if they have God in their life or not, really. Because...
Jesus Christ. Just a Peach says, first globe was around 63 BCE, so a little earlier.
That's really what it comes down to, because we stirred away from reading the Bible to our kids as they were growing up, making sure they know who Moses is, and Abraham, David, all the prophets, Christ. The whole story, everything. See, if you actually knew the Bible and you had that relationship with your parents, not only does it develop a spiritual relationship with God being present, but when you take that away, these are the side effects. You don't get to know what God said about the truth of his creation. So therefore you believe what...
I'm gonna skip. This is a montage of flat earthers. I'm skipping this one. When it gets down to just straight up apologetics, like, what are we even discussing?
Give him a chance. In Yeshua's name, amen.
3-mile shot with a Nikon P1000. Then there's going to be a 5-mile shot, then a 10-mile shot. Watch this. Check this out. Now,
why would I believe what the flat earther says in terms of how far this distance is? Did they measure it? Do they have a laser measure? I'm guessing they're eyeballing it. Sometimes they just say numbers because it would be convincing.
what I want to know is, how are we even seeing this boat in the first place? Because from the shoreline, you can't even see it. I could zoom into a flea on these little daggone birds' back if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. Now, watch this second one right here. This one right here is even further out, probably about 6 miles if my calculations are correct. Anyways, look.
What calculations? Show me your calculations. You just made up a number. Fucking hate TikTok. I hope it... I will celebrate on the day it gets banned. Like it's supposed to, but Trump keeps pushing it back because he wants an American company to buy it. I am begging for TikTok to get banned. It is so fucking bad.
You can still see water behind it. Okay, how are we still even seeing this is what I want to know. Really and truly, man, look at these details. Hold on, I can zoom in on the guy's tattoo on his arm if I wanted to, but I don't. Maybe I do, hold on. Homie's right here. Then we got one more. This last one I'm going to show y'all is, it draws certain questions that certain people don't want the answers to, but certain people are going to get them regardless. Whoa, holy moly. Look at that. So look, you can't even see it, man. Last one. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Look at that.
Yeah, do you see how more of the bottom of the boat is submerged than the other one because it's further away? I wonder what that means.
Why is the moon upside
It's because it's further over the curve of the Earth.
down in New Zealand? Well, we're in New Zealand. Here's New Zealand right here. The moon's on the equator. It's a 6. Now let's go to Russia. Oh, now we're in Russia, and we're looking at the moon, and it's an upside down 6. Wait, is that an upside down 6 or a 9? I don't know. Well, I know that you're so brainwashed and so delusional that probably couldn't explain it for you. So let me break it down more simpler terms for you that a first grader
More simpler.
could figure out. So now we're in Russia. The moon, right? This is the moon. It goes between the tropics, Capricorn and Cancer, 5 degrees past Capricorn, 5 degrees north of Cancer. So if you're in the south of New Zealand, you're always going to be looking north to the moon, 100% of the time. So when you're in the south looking north, we're looking at a 6, since the moon has a just goes like this, doop doop doop. And now we're going to go to Russia. Doop 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 doop. We're going back to Russia. Doop 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 doop.
Saitam says, if it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't know about B. Dylan Hollis, and my life would be lesser for that. I don't know who that is.
Walking on water. Doop 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 doop. Going to Russia. Going to Russia. Doop 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 doop. Now we're in Russia. So in Russia, the moon 100% of the time is going to be south of you. So now when we're looking south, we're looking at an upside down 6. Or is that a 9? I don't know. I think you should take an IQ test, because if you can't figure this out, I'm really curious to see what your IQ would be, because that shit is crazy. You guys are delusional. This is so basic, it's embarrassing that I have to explain it. The Earth is flat. That's why the moon is upside down, because you're looking at it from a different position. Einstein.
Let's get real.
Oh, I'm tired.
How can telescopes stay perfectly steady if we're all supposedly flying through the universe? Picture this. Astronomers bolt their telescopes onto massive stone columns, like unshakable. But if Earth is zooming at 19 miles a second, spinning, tilting, hurtling, wouldn't even the slightest shake ruin their view?
No, because stars are very far away, and the way that parallax works is the further the thing is away, the greater movement you would require in order to see a movement in that. So it basically appears stationary over, you know, with your naked eye or whatever. There also are telescopes that absolutely do track stars and other bodies over time periods, because they do move. It's consistent, because we are moving, they aren't moving, we're moving. But you do have telescopes that will track that motion.
And yet, Every night you can look at the North Star from your same window, year after year. No.
Yes, because the North Star is... actually, this is actually kind of interesting. I've talked about this before. The North Star has changed over the course of human history, every couple thousand years, because there's a wobble in the precession of the Earth. I think right now it's Polaris, but in some thousands of years it'll be a different star. But either way, the reason that, like, the stars that you see every night don't change is because, again, A, they're very far away, so our motion, relatively speaking, isn't very much. But they're also part of the galaxy we're in, which is all moving around the central supermassive black hole that I think is theorized to be at the center of the Milky Way galaxy.
No drift, no wobble.
Can you imagine?
Oh yeah, this guy looks trustworthy.
This nonsense spinning at this mile an hour. Yeah? And you trying to lay bricks.
So in 2017, I went to this planetarium with my son and my husband at the time, and we sat in this dark room. It was just the three of us, and we all stood at the ceiling where they showed Earth zooming out from Lafayette, Louisiana, where I live, to like the galaxies in the cosmos and all the space stuff. And I remember feeling so scared coming out of there, and my husband couldn't understand why, but I was like, I just feel so unprotected, you know, like...
Okay, just because you're scared of reality doesn't make it not reality. Louisiana was a mistake.
Like, unprotected.
Can we give it back to the French?
If that makes sense. Like, anything could hit us. Anything. We're just so lost in this great galaxy of abyss that there is no way God can watch over the entire universe and us at the same time and be...
I'm just so scared because my best friend God, the universe is so big and my best friend God can't see me. This is an adult person with a child. Oh my god. I'm horrified at the human race more and more every day. Truly.
Be intimate with us. And my relationship with God, I've always, like I said, I've always been a Christian, but I just felt distant, if that makes sense. And especially after going to that planetarium. And it wasn't until 2023 where I discovered the firmament, and after watching the SpaceX videos and realizing there was something more to the Earth than what I knew, because I saw water when the rocket hit the firmament.
Oh my god, literally step by step she's explaining, the truth made me feel uncomfortable, but then I found a conspiracy theory that made me feel more comfortable. So that's good. Green guy with $1 tip says, tell me you've never been humbled without telling me. No kidding, this lady must have had no problems in her entire life.
Like, hit glass, and then water shot out. And it led me to my Bible, like I said, because I didn't know what the firmament was, but people in the comment section started saying research it. So that's exactly what I did.
And I, a lady who had never considered my place in the universe, decided to start Googling things I didn't understand, and dadgummit, I found a thing that made me feel comfortable. And if believing untrue things that make me comfortable is wrong, I don't want to be right.
And I had no idea that this would lead me down the flat earth rabbit hole. That's a rabbit hole I never wanted to go down. So I understand why people, like, just can't go down that rabbit hole. Reconstruction
failed so fucking hard.
because it sounds so ridiculous, and also because people are really hateful towards people that believe in that, and they get made fun of and called stupid and like,
yeah, we actually already had that, Amber, but yes,
unintelligent and stuff. But
oh boy, I wonder why they call people like this unintelligent.
And I'm just being honest, I was like that as well. My sister came to me and told me to look down that rabbit hole years ago, and I like shut her down immediately. Like, it was just something that was just comical almost. So I get like that. I get why my friends might think that I've just completely lost my mind, but I'm telling you, I didn't mean to go down the rabbit hole. I just ended up there, and I learned about the moon landing being fake. That's one veil you
well, there's one.
have to take off your eyes. Like, it's just, there is no way we went to the moon. And then I learned about Operation Fishbowl. Then I learned about Admiral Byrd. Then I learned about NASA. And NASA for me was just insane. How satanic that organization is and how much they lie to us. And it's even been brought to Congress. They had someone go to Congress and talk about just how fake NASA is, and you can watch it on YouTube.
And nothing ridiculous ever happens in Congress. Gestures at Marjorie Taylor Greene showing Biden's son's dick on the congressional record.
But yeah, we send them $63 million a freaking day, y'all. And what does that money go to?
A lot of things, ma'am. Running the organization for one, but studies have shown that for every dollar that we put into NASA, I believe it's something like $2 come out in terms of economic benefit. A lot of consumer products that you take for granted were developed by NASA, who originally were dealing with engineering problems for the rocket and shuttle programs. So please stop, ma'am. Please stop, I'm begging you.
Who knows, but I love paying taxes so I can support NASA.
Holy fuck. We're doomed. We're like doomed. I just don't think with the incentive structures we have, we can ever fix this. So that's fun. Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out today. On that positive note, I really appreciate y'all. I will be back tomorrow. We'll either tomorrow we're gonna do meme stocks, because Morance's brother came out and laid a bunch of allegations against him, which is pretty interesting. So we'll either cover meme stocks or multi-level marketing scams. Not sure which. Depends on what I find more material for. So, that'll be fun. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I appreciate it. Let's see who we're going to rate on Twitch. Thanks, Jason Proxy. I'll take a look. We are going to do Sobsits later in the week.
Me from the start as well. I've
Oh, Cooker 28's live. Yeah, Cooker shows conspiracy theorists and stuff, I think. So that should be good. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for having another Tinfoil Tuesday with me. Appreciate it. All right, bye everyone. Bye-bye.